Yeah, Carl, you saw the reporters there trying to get in as many questions as they could right at the end of that pool spray. A couple of things to bring to your attention. One is that the president was asked about a short-term debt ceiling increase tied to Harvey funding. He said, "We'll see." He was also asked there whether or not he had any second thoughts about DACA and his decision yesterday. He said, "No second thoughts, no second thoughts" there. That's interesting because there was some sense last night when the president tweeted out that he might revisit this DACA issue, that is on the Dreamers, in 6 months. There was some sense that maybe the president had some regret about the way his decision was playing, but today saying no second thoughts at all on that, Carl.
Eamon, Javers, any clues as to what the message might be on tax reform? He's being accompanied by Heidi Heitkamp, which some are taking as a sign there might be a bit of a moderate consensus forming on this policy.
Yeah, obviously they're targeting Heidi Heitkamp as a potential vote in the United States Senate. And I talked to Kellyanne Conway about this morning, and she said, just remember how big the president's victory was in that state, saying that ultimately that's a bellwether of how popular the president is, how popular he is in a state where Democrats have gotten elected. And they hope that the president's coattails, so to speak, can pull across a couple of Democrats on tax reform. But this is a very polarized and partisan town. We'll see if one ride on Air Force One can change things. But this is an example of the president out there doing that retail politics that some folks in Washington criticized him for not doing on the health care issue earlier in the year. This is the kind of thing that presidents do. They jawbone, they arm twist, they give rides on Air Force One, they try to get the votes.
Eamon, any evidence, new evidence that there is a meaningful tax plan, though, that they're talking about beyond the rates, just broadly speaking? And I don't know if you saw the Ben White piece earlier this morning in Politico suggesting the president may be at 15%, but just about nobody else, including people inside the White House, are with him.
Yeah, we asked Kellyanne Conway about that, too, saying that, what is the president's ideal corporate tax rate here today? And she said he's targeting 15%. It's clear from the rhetoric here at the White House, they admit that there's a possibility they're not going to get to 15%, but that's going to be a negotiation up on Capitol Hill. No specifics, though, here ultimately on what's in the president's tax plan. We saw officials come out last week and say that they do have a detailed plan. Stephen Mnuchin, the Treasury Secretary, said the plan's been refined among the so-called Big Six negotiators. But the White House hasn't released that plan yet. They say they're socializing it up on Capitol Hill. At some point, though, with all tax battles, the devil is in the details of whether there are more interest groups on Capitol Hill who are frustrated by what they lose than interest groups that are happy by what they gain. In the deep details, paragraph 7, subsection 6, all of that really matters in tax policy. They fight to the death on all those things, and whether you line up the winners and losers is whether or not you can pass a bill.
Yeah, that's going to be the story for sure of the next few weeks and months. Eamon, thank you for that.
Hey there, thanks for checking out CNBC on YouTube. Be sure to subscribe to stay up to date on all of the day's biggest stories. You can also click on any of the videos around me to watch the latest from CNBC. Thanks for watching.